Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Musiak. Have you ever wanted something so badly that it just felt so out of reach, or just you were doing so much work or what you thought was right and it just didn't happen? Well, I know I have. And the thing is, the more you want something, the more you push it away. And I know that might sound crazy, but I know it's been my experience. And I'm not saying that don't do anything to get to, what you want, but don't care so much about the outcome. So we can let our emotions get in the way, or it's like this neediness. And the more we want or need something, we come out of desperation. So we kind of obsess. And I think about, I have so many moments in my life that this has happened, but I think back to even when I was single, and there are so many layers to this. So if you've listened to me before, you know that I've definitely was trying to find love in all the wrong places, chasing after men, or, wanting their affection and things. But the other thing is, the reason no one really said yes, or I couldn't actually find a healthy relationship in that moment, was I was desperate. Now, obviously, my intentions for finding a partner were not in good, intentions. I just, wanted to feel loved. But the desperation was there. And when we do things out of desperation, we push things away. Think about something, if even your kids, if they're hanging onto your leg, or mommy, 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 please, I need this. It's you're less likely to give that to them. But if they're hey, could I, they, come on, ask really politely, and, well, I want this because of this, or, they explain themselves. You're oh, you might hit be maybe I will, consider that. When we're so needing something, and I don't want to say needy, but it's true. There's so many times where I know I have felt I needed something to happen, now or yesterday. And I just pushed it away for years. And I even think about our move. There was this moment where it's I was just excited. We were about to put our house on the market last March. And then everything kind of fell apart there. And things really didn't flow there for a while because I was in this needing mode. I needed things to work out. I needed things. I was so attached to the outcome. If this doesn't happen right now, oh my goodness, kind of thing. And I had to change my perspective, change my attitude, and just kind of wait a second. Let's not focus on the outcome. Focus on progress. Focus on things you can do to get there. So, we couldn't put our house up on the market at that time, even though the house was pretty much staged and all that fun stuff. And I had to let go of my need to control the situation and my need for the outcome. And I just focused on baby steps. I could still keep packing. I could still, keep looking on the other end, at the homes and on the West Coast and things like that. Keep in contact with both realtors, that kind of thing. And I just needed to let go of the outcome. And the moment I did that, I kid you not, we got a call from our realtor to sell our house. She was are you ready? And we're yes, we're ready. I don't know how many times, actually, I can't count how many times that this has happened in my life where, I'll be why is this happening? And I get this need to control things. And why is this happening to me right now? And all these things. But the moment I released and I let go of my neediness or my need to conquer whatever, make this happen, it happens. It happens. It's so amazing when you let go of the outcome. So like I said, it's not about oh, I want this and just sit on the couch and do nothing. It's about oh, this is where I want to head. Now, what kind of steps can I do today to make that happen in this moment? Because, life is changing, happening all the time. Here's another example. My husband and I haven't gone out on a date, like outside of the house. We have date nights every Friday, or we try to. Sometimes we're really tired from the week. But we try to just sit back and, have a little glass of, or not a little, a glass of wine or two, and we hang out. But we haven't been out on an actual date out in a restaurant or outside of the house without the kids nearby for over a year. It was last Valentine's Day that we went out for lunch on our own. And I was like, oh, like I was focusing on so much of not being able to do that right now. And then we stumbled upon somebody that was very willing to take our kids and watch them for a little while we go out for supper or out anywhere, and in that moment, like it just, you drop it and it appears. Obviously, like we didn't do nothing. We, shared our feelings, not like a negative, like, oh, like la la la, not like complaining way, but it's like, oh, we really haven't, and we're just having conversations with people and being open and honest about how we're feeling. And, it just presented it to ourselves kind of thing. And it was really beautiful. Now, we do have another hiccup where restaurants are actually closed now for indoor dining, but there's patios and stuff. So it might not be too much of a setback either. The thing is, it's just whenever you feel frustrated in a situation, like nothing is happening, but you feel like you're doing everything right, or you're doing so much, like you're spending every waking hour thinking about it, doing something for it. Take a step back. Maybe even do just something fun, like do something different. And maybe what you're doing is fun, but maybe it's lost its joy. Take a step back from trying so hard and just do something fun for a while. Don't give up on what you want and things like that. Just take a step and breathe and stop trying so hard. When you stop trying so hard, you allow things into your life. It's amazing, the more we try, we can put up these invisible walls that we don't even know are there. We set out these intentions, because the thing is, when we focus on what we want, we're not always focusing on what we want. We focus on what we don't want. So for a while there, my husband and I, we would focus on, like, oh my goodness, I would just like to get away from our kids for a while and just have some time alone. Well, we're now in the needy, stressful mode. Instead of like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to go out, for a while and just, enjoy each other's company, just the two of us, or, with another couple and things like that. Like just focusing on what we want in like a loving way. It's really amazing when you focus with loving intentions, or when it's like fear backed with fear or neediness. It really is a different feel. Like I even felt it in my voice when I was describing the two different situations you could look at. It also happens with me for weight loss. And the more I focus on losing weight or releasing weight, the more I gain it. The more I read books about it, or, different fastings and all these different things. Like I'm just doing some research, or, just trying to understand my body. And the more I gain it, because I'm focusing on like, oh, if I do this, I'll lose weight. But like I'm thinking about that I have to lose weight. And it's just this really negative wheel of yuckiness, really. So when I find that that's happening, this is like, okay, let's not focus on the outcome. Let's focus on healthy eating, moving my body in healthy ways, stress management. This was big. I've talked about the 3 S's before, where it's sleep, eliminate sugar, and stress, like stress management. And it's super important. So I come back to those 3 basic things. And I talked about it on one of the episodes. I'm not sure what it was titled, but it is, it's so important. So just kind of go back to basics sometimes. And that's where I go back. It's like, hold on a second. Am I getting a good night's sleep? Am I, not just eating a lot of sugar to help with stress or tiredness and things like that? And then also stress management as well is a huge one for me. But it's just focusing on what I can do in that moment. It's really what it comes down to. Focusing on the moment that you can do. Because that outcome, like, it's there. Like, you can get there. But the more you just focus on that outcome, you're not doing the steps in between. It's kind of like when I work with my clients, we work on the emotional scale, and it starts with shame at the bottom, and we go up to the courage. And I talk about it as a ladder, and it's like you can't climb from the bottom to the top. So you can't just fly through your emotions. Like, it takes steps. So does getting to an outcome. Anything, driving to a destination. I would love to be able to teleport. Oh my goodness, it would save us so much time. The thing is, though, to get anywhere, you either need to get in a car, a plane, go on a bike. Like, there's methods of getting to somewhere. And same with getting to an outcome. And, if you don't do your research and figure out how to get to that certain place, you're going to do circles or you're going to get lost. So it's about doing the little baby steps, figuring out what can I do today, and focusing on the moments, right? You're not just gonna be able to get like right to the outcome. And when thinking that, like, here's another example. Say you're planning a trip and you know where you want to go, so you go. You just go. But how do you get there? You have to either book a plane ride, some kind of form, like, let's say you're going somewhere like in the Caribbean or something. You have to take a plane, and you need a place to stay. So if you just focus on the outcome, like, I want to go here, you do need to make some accommodations, some plans to get there. And that's the same with when you're focusing so much on the outcome, you might forget to do some of the planning ahead. And now let's get back to like trying so hard too. Like I've talked about, when you're trying so hard, you're bringing neediness in, or fear, or a whole pile of mixed bags. So when you find yourself in that moment, at least for me, the first thing always comes to awareness. Like, ooh, those thoughts, those feelings aren't serving me anymore. Like, let's try and do a check-in and change things around a little bit. Or why is this showing up? There's a lot of reasons to ask those things, but awareness is always the key. If you're getting into like this, I need this to happen now. It's like, whoa, hold on a second. Why do I need this to happen right now? And just check in, because it's so important to come from a place of love. Nothing I ever accomplished was ever accomplished. Like, it never got me over the finish line, unless it was backed with love. When we're doing things out of fear, or we're doing things out of like desperation or neediness, it might still get there, but it takes so much longer to get there. And there's nothing wrong with feeling those things along the way. It happens. It happens to me like all the time. It's just being aware of when it's happening, so you can send yourself some love. Send some love out to wherever you want to go, and then just be like, hey, hold on. I got this. Let's come from a place of love and do this lovingly. Like, I send so much love out, because if you are feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you're trying so hard and not getting anywhere, take a deep breath. Know you're not alone, because it happens to me a lot too. I get tripped up on the outcome, on this need to control the situation. And, it can get messy. But let me tell you, when you let go of the control, like of the outcome, the neediness to get to that outcome, you let that all go. It's much easier and a lot more fun when you just do it in a loving, fun way. Like it really is. When you're just like, okay, have a little faith and just be in this moment. And again, take those steps, baby, little by little, to get you where you want to go. But again, like, forget about the outcome. Do it just because you're like, hey, I love doing this. And eventually, you will get to where you want to go. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye for now.